So, Gangplank Thresh. Thresh, this deck's got some sweet synergies in it, and I want to talk about them. So Thresh levels when he's seen 6 units on board die, and Gangplank and other various cards in Bilgewater create these powdered kegs that are units that kill themselves to make your skills deal extra damage. So I think I need a flavor judge to rule on why Thresh is allowed to collect souls to level up from powder kegs dying, but mechanically, in terms of the game, it definitely works how we want it to work. So, these powder kegs from things like Gangplank and Deckway Dreadhand and our new card Boom Ship here deal 1 damage to a unit, then summon powder kegs equal to the amount of damage dealt. Is lovely. So, yeah, we pair this with other direct damage things such as Doom Beast, Make It Rain, Grasp, Withering Whale, etc. And then, hopefully, we get our things leveled up. We've also got a little bit of combo at the top end of our curve here. So, Commander Ledros needs no introduction. This card's a very common control finisher in Runeterra. However, one deck we haven't played for a while is Ledros alongside the Dreadway here is a 1-turn combo kill. So Dreadway doubles damage that your skills and allies deal. So if you play Ledros with the Dreadway in play, you one-shot kill your opponent regardless of what life total they're at. So a lot of sweet things going on here in terms of finishers, good cheap interaction to keep us alive. And let's dive on into some games and see if it works okay in practice. Uh-oh, is the matchmaking queue having some issues? Someone asked if I donate $10,000, will you basically play my decks forever? For people who aren't longtime supporter or donators, if you're going to donate more than $100, I require it to be in bits or via a cashier's check that cannot be charged back, so you cannot donate that much via PayPal. But yeah, if you ship me 10 grand in bits, I'll play a bunch of your decks for the foreseeable future. I'm a simple shill who enjoys paying his mortgage and having food to eat. So yeah, you support my content, you can dictate what it is for the foreseeable future. This channel runs exactly like the United States government. Everybody in chat gets a vote, and then whoever paid me the most money decides what actually happens. Hopefully that's about to change. Hopefully that's about to change. We'll see though. Cautious optimism. Cautious optimism, chat. How many MTGA decks would $10,000 yield? I'll give you a day of Arena for 10 grand. I'd give you 8 hours of Magic Arena for 10 grand. I have my morals, but I also have a price. We're gonna mulligan the Dreadway here, keep these cheap cards, I think, against their aggressive deck.
These woods protect their own.
I think we just let this happen, and then next turn we go deckhand into parlay this.
Steady my hand.
And no, you can't crowdfund an Arena Day. That'd have to be one person, and it has to be bits. I really hope, Silence, that means that they're starting to feel the weight of some of their decisions. So I wanted to kill this, but we'll kill this as a consolation prize, I think.
Save your worlds. We speak with blades.
think we're just banking spell mana this turn. I guess if I play this out, they can't attack with this. Or if they attack with that, it's good for us. I think this trade's great for us. The opponent's archetype doesn't usually play standalone. That is a more of an all-in Fiora card.
My shield is yours.
Honestly, I think if they don't want to attack me here, that's a win for me. I'm gonna pass.
I never hold back.
I'm interested. I didn't mention these during the deck tech, but there's 3 copies of Smooth Soloist in this deck, and I'm really not sure how I feel about them.
I have no equal.
Standalone mostly disappeared after the nerf. That's not true, Plaid. The Targon Fiora all-in Fiora deck that's been going around plays that card. It's a deck that Swim popularized.
I whipped up something special.
The Freljord Fiora deck is a lot less common these days. But yeah, back that once upon a time that deck also played that card.
Got a surprise for him. No closer. Set him off.
Actually, so people talking about Fiora in chat, I actually don't mind Fiora's design a lot. I think Fiora's design is good. So to compare to Lee Sin, who I think Lee Sin warrants a bit of a redesign, I think Fiora is just like a couple of numbers off of being correct. I think Fiora being reasonable could be as simple as making Riposte cost fine or Fiora having only 2 points of toughness to start. I think she's super close to a reasonable. Yeah, starting her as a 2/3 or a 3/2 would go a long way. Just like change the range of things she can eat for free, basically. Yeah, I think Fiora's design is good and sweet even. It's just the kind of the details around it is a little muddled and I wouldn't mind seeing them changed. Whereas like Lee Sin getting barrier and protecting himself I think is quite toxic and I would like to see that get a redesign. Yeah, it could honestly, something else I heard suggested too. It could even be as simple as changing her win con. When she kills 4 things, change it from winning the game to like dealing 15 Nexus damage. So that way you could have a threshold to stay above when it happens. I think something like that could be cool too. There's a lot of directions they could change those small details. So dead to single combat here. Yeah, good game, opponent.
This will be quick.
I disagree with that, Martian. I think requiring decks to have specific answers that are only in certain regions tends to be very bad.
One way or t'other.
Skuadron, thanks for the follow. Amos Flynn, thank you for the 13 months of support. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. I always liked the Atlanta area when I was traveling to play Magic. The convention centers, their surrounding area there was nice. Lucian Hecarim. All these cards, I think we're only getting for more and more proactive stuff here. Not having a way to interact with a landmark in our deck feels kind of bad. They're playing Bark Beast. Interesting. Yeah, the fact that Bilgewater, we could technically play Crumble in this deck, maybe. Crumble kind of works with the kegs, kind of.
This'll send them running.
Yeah, I miss the people, Pixie. I don't miss the actual card game. I'm looking forward to.
Don't fear the dark.
I'm looking forward to being able to have people over to play board games again sometime soon.
Go ahead. Scare.
Soon is probably a loose verbiage, but you know, at some point before I die. It was funny, my 5-year-old Decalite actually asked me the other day, he was like, Dad, when the virus is over, can we have board game nights again? And like, we play games with them as a family, but it's just not quite the same as being able to have a bunch of people over to play.
We weren't expecting callers.
I think we trade Whale to deny them the 2 cards here. I never, like, the words "it would be over by Easter" came out of Trump's mouth, so like I was expecting that to be a bunch of bullshit, but I was like cautiously optimistic that it would have been over by like Thanksgiving or Christmas of last year. Do I make changes to the decks people send me? Yeah, if there's glaring change, if there's things I think need to be changed, I make changes to them, yes. Usually my base thing is that I usually try to keep the core idea of whatever they've submitted the same. I do make small changes quite frequently. Yeah, so far our decks felt pretty clunky. Smooth Soloist notably has not been particularly impressive. Honestly, I think I parlay here, so that way they can't open attacks hooking my keg. Okay. Our work team did a pool and the office closed down in March. When the office was reopened, I was the only one who guessed 2021. I guessed March 1st, and I guess March 1st not even going to hit that. Yep. At this point, I'm now optimistically looking at the same timeline, only 2021. I'm hoping I will feel comfortable sending my children back to school in fall of this year. Hopefully 7 to 8 months of having adults in charge of the government will mean that that's possible.
Their bones will splinter. Face death. Cowards! Don't get in my way.
Yeah, if they're one of the variations playing Harrowing, that'll be real bad for us. don't think we can beat that one at this point. If they're not on Harrowing, the Dreadway picking us another Gangplank backup could easily win this for us. That was our first time casting Boom Ship.
Lock the doors.
The ocean herself will fear us!
Yeah, honestly, maybe I'm supposed to sleep with the fishes plus soloist this turn instead of playing the Dreadway to start.
My complete.
Just draw Ledros. I mean, to be fair, they're pretty close to dead, right?
I rarely forget. I never forgive.
This Doom Beast is a great draw because it levels Gangplank before we attack.
This'll do for now.
I mean, honestly, Blender Bottle, if people wearing masks in public becomes a norm that we maintain after COVID, that's a net positive and a good thing, I think. That's something that's normal in a lot of other countries that aren't the United States anyways. Like, during flu seasons, even outside of COVID, people should probably be wearing masks because masks just stop the spread of germs. Whale's probably great here. I'm gonna mulligan these other ones, keep the Butcher as an early play. Ledros is definitely a card that's great in this matchup, but I don't want to have it in my opener.
Now, people knows me now.
I played some Baldur's Gate 3. Are CRPGs like turn-based RPGs? Anything that has a good story and is single-player driven, I would entertain as a submission at this point.
Poor thing.
Those are the types of games outside of card games I enjoy the most. I enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3 from what I played.
I pull the strings.
Unspeakable Horror. I could see that being good.
When I'm done.
I could see that being reasonable. I'm taking a limited range of variety submissions. I'm taking single player story driven variety submissions with the asterisk. It's going to be a bit of a backlog. 'Cause I'm only playing about 10 to 15 hours of story stuff per week. And I've got a bit of a number of things queued up already.
I'll buy us some time.
Terran Terror, thank you for the tier 3. I really appreciate that generosity. And 38 months is a really long time. Just keeping me around. I think I'm just playing this out and hooking a keg here. Although I guess playing this out means just gonna die to the go hard, right? Maybe this is right. I think maybe I'm just supposed to pass here. Yeah, the restrictions on people freedoms thing about masks are just bullshit, right? Like, if someone told you they wanted to walk around with a chemical weapon that doesn't guaranteed to kill people but has a chance to kill people and just like spray it randomly, and you told them they weren't allowed to do that, they wouldn't tell you you're infringing on their freedoms. So like if they're the person who's sick, they basically are the chemical weapon. So like, yeah, you're not allowed to walk around without some type of way to mitigate the fact that you're basically a chemical weapon.
For silver I talk, for gold I use it. There's nowhere to hide. You pay, I talk to spirits. These are my rules.
I missed that one. I had to go back and see a mod type someone out. I had to go back and see why they typed them out. And that's an easy ban, not a timeout. It's so weird to me when people are like, nah, like I get that people are often terrible, but like why announce to the world that you're scum? Like, I get it that there's a lot of people who are awful, who don't want to wear masks and won't do it once it's not required anymore. But, like, why announce to the world that that's your plan? Why come in my chat and broadcast that you don't give a shit about other people and you don't care if you make people sick or potentially kill them? Horizon Zero Dawn is actually already on the PC poll. My full playthrough on my YouTube channel was done on PC before I had my PS5. I doubt Horizon Zero Dawn will ever come to the Switch. Actually, no, I'm just gonna say Horizon Zero Dawn will never come to the Switch because the hardware is not powerful enough. Oh, you know what? I should have attacked and hooked this and wailed at the same time to get this leveled. Because now if I attack and trade, it doesn't level. Okay, they're passing, so I can make it rain to kill this, which is nice.
Packed 'em good.
Okay, and then this is why I boom ship to start, because now I can make it rain in response and get my next Thresh level up here. Yeah, that exactly the same, Jin. I don't intend to like wear a mask around people in my home, but like especially if I'm feeling under the weather, or just honestly just in public in general, especially during flu and cold season, that will definitely be my norm moving forward when I go out, because I'm a decent human being capable of caring about how my actions impact other people. Yeah, these smooth soloists have been hot garbage so far. I think we're gonna cut these. I like the suggestion someone made earlier about unspeakable horror. I think we're gonna cut these for unspeakable horror.
A game. Go on then.
No place for the kind.
Kai, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, they need a plunder trigger. Otherwise, it's a 3/4 elusive for 7. If this didn't need the plunder trigger, this card would be super good. Whoa! They burned their Ledros with Pool Shark. Get wrecked. Ooh. Well, I was gonna play Ledros this turn, but that draw.
You should stay.
We are not playing Warning Shot. You can always find the deck list by typing !deck in chat or by checking out the overlay list. I don't think I want to play Warning Shot in my mid-range control deck either. So rather than putting mediocre cards into my deck, I'd rather just cut this card that needs the kind of bad enabler. Big agree on that too. Masks as a creative / artistic outlet has been good too. Peanut on a Chan, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Not leveled yet. Whale was drain 1 rather than 1 damage gain 3. Wild. I was not playing then. Man, thank you for the 5 months. I really appreciate the prime. Welcome back. It used to hit Nexus 2. Wild. Alright, I think we gangplank into Doombeast here and buffer our life total back up a little bit. You Jabba C, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Maybe I'm supposed to do this after Ledros. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to do this turn and then drain them next turn. Probably better. I think we're in an okay spot regardless, especially since they burned their,
Deal me in. Blue as the serpentine.
Especially since they burned their Ledros. Well, Ledros here would have leveled the Gangplank as well, so... What have they become?
Brings me closer to deliverance. Easy. Never lost a fair game. Eyes open.
Okay, that's the first one, working towards their second. That's there. Yikes, alright. Okay, Papa Thresh is gonna let us close out here real quick. Oh, you know what? Well. Alright, so if this is a blank, they die. And they have a lot. Their deck is mostly packed the bags at this point. Shield me, Ledros! Shield me! Okay, sweet. I think I'm still gonna swap the smooth soloists. They've been really clunky and awkward. I like the idea of Unspeakable Horror a lot. Unspeakable Horror can notably go Dome as well, so it can help level Gangplanking key spots also. Honestly, if we're cutting top end, I kind of just like a second Ledros, just like have some Ledros combo here up top. Maybe we don't need all 3 Unspeakable Horror. I'm gonna go to 2 and add a second Landorus in. Might be a little greedy. This isn't really a turbo Gangplank deck. So, like, I'm not adding Unspeakable Horror explicitly because it helps us level it, but, like, the fact that it can is just a nice upside. So, this deck is looking to be a mid-range to control deck to go a little bit longer. So, the person who originally submitted the deck submitted 3 Boomship, and I've not played with Boomship before, so I know everybody in chat wants to write it off as a bad card, but I want to play some more games with it before I cut it. I want to get a better feel for if it feels okay in this list or not. And keeping it at 3 copies makes me more like to do that. Yeah, I could see cutting Parlay, although honestly, there's so much Zoe in the format right now that like keeping 3 Parlay is kind of nice from that perspective. Now, being able to murder their Zoe on 1's a big deal. Speaking of, like, this matchup, it's good too, right? I'm gonna mulligan the Make It Rain, because Withering Wail serves a similar point. We can parlay on 1 and, like, wail on 3. So, I have this life gain rolled up, so I think I'm actually gonna take the pass here and parlay this into the Plunder Jagged Butcher here. Is my plan? Is that the plan? Yeah, that's the plan. I could also parlay this, not play this whale next turn, but I think I like keeping my life total high here to start. What's Plunder again? Plunder means you get this bonus if you dealt damage to your opponent the turn you played it.
Time to get rich.
Nice.
Time for the main event.
They could have a crowd favorite next turn.
The sun's out, the crowd's ready. Let's reckon!
I think we parlay this to set up Whale next turn. So they crowd favorite, it'll be a 6-5, which means unfortunately Whale plus this block does not kill it.
The party has arrived. It's Draven, the glorious executioner. Someone get him.
Not enough mana to boom ship and Whale.
Watch and learn.
This card being both slow and 3 mana is a bit of a mediumness. If they want to trade an Axe plus another card to kill my 3/3 here, I think that's good for me.
Now we're cooking.
We're going to 15 here, but I've got Gain 5 in my hand rolled up, so that's fine. I would love to draw a deckhand next turn, so we can go deckhand into boom ship, kill this, leave some things over. Thresh will do too. That'll do big. Honestly, if my opponent passes priority here, instead of playing something else out, I think I just take the pass. If they play something smaller for Thresh to eat, we'll take the eats, but if they want to pass and let us burn their mana, I think that's great for us, especially with the Grasp in hand. So doing this means if they have another Draven, they get to play it. But this means I get to play Doom Beast also, which is nice. So you pass instead of attacking because you can kill Draven anyways. Not only that, but passing burn some of my opponent's mana, and it means they can't develop their board. And when you're the control deck, denying your opponent the ability to have good open attacks is very valuable, because it means as they add more to their board, you also get to add more to your board. This triggers Gangplank this turn. The priority system in Runeterra is easily the most rewarding priority system in any game I've ever played. Being able to understand when you're supposed to pass to burn your opponent's mana as opposed to letting them develop or not is very, very, very key to doing well in this game. I think I want to Gangplank here and just start pressuring them now. I think we've made it to the turn the corner portion of the game. We're definitely going to challenge a 1-1 here. Yeah, that whale earlier was really brutal.
This'll do for now.
It's going on, Epic Magic, but that's true. You do still earn interest when you are in person. Shen Fiora. I think we full mulligan, deckhand, and other cheap things like this sound good to start. I'm happy to just burn their mana here.
I've whipped out something special. Rivers shape the land and give it life.
Hey, thanks, Agent Iowa. I appreciate the compliment. Glad you are enjoying it. If you're new to, in addition to my Twitch stuff that I do here daily, I'd encourage you to check out my YouTube channels as well. One of them posts absolutely everything that I stream, so it's a little bit busy, but it's all cut up deck by deck there. And the other one is a little bit more concise content, one daily deck video. That's a little sad. Whale still kills this down the line, which is nice. Oh, Tom, did we have a queue of ban requests? I should probably check that more often.
Suppose you want in on this.
Those seem like reasonable bans. I'm playing another deck after Scargrounds today. I'm not sure. I will definitely be streaming more after Scargrounds, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing another deck or if I'm going to be continuing my Witcher 3 playthrough. We didn't do Witcher Monday or yesterday, so we'll probably do Witcher. I think it's worth trading the Whale for the River Shaper here, because cutting off the card advantage on that is very valuable. I think I'm also into just marking as much damage as possible onto this. I'm going to block with the 2-2 to start, because this way if I draw a deal one next turn, the Keg can pair up to kill this. Yeah, I do discard peaks today for 20 bucks, Quack.
They don't need riches.
I'm gonna open on attacks and see what they do here. Because if they try and pump and block, I get to grasp it and blow them out.
Water changes but never breaks.
Huh, that's a good thought, because I would explain Jack versus, say, Zap Spray Fin. Jack's been kind of clunky so far, and I don't hate the idea of Zap. Zap's elusive, and it drags our curve down a little bit. That's fine, Tom. You can unban that one too. Make a note in the mod comments that that's what they said.
Don't know much, do ya?
Yeah, Jack also notably competes with both of our champions for the 5-mana slot, which is kind of a big deal. Yeah, I could see Zap being a great choice. Jack's a card I've always kind of been whelmed by in these bigger, more controlling decks.
Selflessness.
Alright, so I think we're just playing Thresh so we can start collecting souls inside of combat here. If we can get him leveled up, that would be real good for us. Alright, not collecting anything. Take 5, draw your card. Hey, Quack, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. Kane was framed. Thank you for the 1.5 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That's a while. Do you have single combats to mess my stuff up? They just drew a spell, so there's a higher chance that they have single combat here now. Yeah, Jack's body is decent. The problem, I think, primarily is that the fact that he competes with all of our other 5-drop champions who also have similar sized body. Well, if they have second rally, we're super dead. Yes. Yeah, 9 5-drops, especially with our 9 drops that we have in the deck, is a lot.
No closer.
I want to try and do this now before they get to draw a card. This gets kind of savaged by Riposte. But, like, if this strike happens, this gets to draw them another spell, which means they're more likely to have Deny or whatever. Is rarely common in these Fiora decks. I don't think so. What's Mobilytics say?
Our will's alive.
Mobilytics says 1 Relentless Pursuit in their recommended list. I think we're dead at this point.
From the river folk.
I like cutting Jack for his app. That sounds good. Just suddenly pulling that curve down. Yeah, we've got all those whales and stuff too in the 5. Adding a non-zero number 4 stuff's real good. I'm gonna get rid of the boom ship too. We'll go down to 2 of those. We've played enough games with that at this point. Horror sounds really good. Update the Mobilytics list here. Mulligan these, keep my lower curve cards. Puka, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I want Moon Silver into turn 4 Peaks and turn 5 Ace. So that's the dream, isn't it? I'm holding on to this for now. Honestly, maybe I'm supposed to take that pass there. I think there's a chance we're favored as these games go along. Wow, what is in their hand?
If I kill you, I don't fortune, stupid.
fate of mortals and spirits falls to me. Immediately.
Well, my opponent didn't have plays for the first 3 turns of the game, so I assume their current hand is just like endless tricks. Well, if they don't have Ranger's Resolve, we get to kill this Shen. Well, that's kind of cute with Thresh.
The Kingu.
Big scary dragon. I think we play Thresh so we can see this 2-1 die. Howdy, Greco.
Keep up, keep up.
Keep up, keep up. And now I have to ask myself, do I want to... If they pass here, I think I'm gonna burn my spell mana.
I've got your back.
Okay, so with that, I'll hook this and attack them with this. If they want a sharp sight to kill this, I think that's a win for me. Okay, I think that's fine for me, right? Like, in terms of, like, what that trade actually did. I got to get a point towards leveling Gangplank there, too. That sounds fine.
And a long path to get you.
Ooh, that's a thought. Yeah, you're right, Zagreus. I could have popped it and then yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, I should have done that. That would have been a better play. 6 NT, thanks for the follow.
Right on.
We're just doing this. We don't have much else to do here. Oh, I should technically wait to do this until after combat happens, right? Because doing it inside of combat doesn't do anything. Alright, they had an Opify, so it didn't matter. If that had resolved like that, I technically would have missed, a point of life gain. And this is part of the problem with playing an answer deck sometimes is our answers are kind of narrow and awkward here. Just open attacks. So, like, these whales are sitting here in our hand, but they're not really accomplishing anything because our opponent's units are just too big for them to be meaningful. And I assume my opponent's got a lot of beef in their hand based on how much, based on how little plays they had early on.
Shape the land and give it life.
You've been denied. I guess I could technically whale plus parlay to kill this.
Their own.
I think that's the play. I don't want this to start drawing cards. And then if they don't open attacks here, I can kill this with the second whale.
Waters are still.
Nature blesses her followers.
Well, are we dead? They hook this here. I block here. I take 15. We're dead to a +2. I have to chump block with this, and then we're dead to a +2. Gangplank is unfortunately not leveled, so he's not going to be able to attack and trigger next turn. They'll be fearsome. Oh yeah, if they challenge this here. Oh, they're missing it. They're missing it. Did they figure it out? They figured it out. Yep.
Nature blesses her followers.
And I didn't have lines to not be dead, Lemony. So making them see the challenger line is the correct play. Reeves, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So far, all of the matches where our damage-based removal have not felt good, have felt difficult to impossible.
Unyielding light. Burn away doubt.
Get to play deckhand here. We get to boom ship this, which is cute. I could parlay it now. Parlay seems better, huh? I can do this, draw a card. I can parlay this, plunder this, attack for 7. Okay, sweet. And then this is just gonna work. So we're gonna get a good aggressive start here.
Suppose you want in on this.
I suppose I should leave you be.
Rough.
Buy us some time. Back heretic.
Stars can't buy some a lot of tempo here.
The power of the immortal sun. Behold the sun's holy light.
We just passed here. If they want to give up their attack for 3 to burn one of our mana, that exchange is reasonable for us.
Neither the blades nor the depths could claim me, Captain.
Captain.
Raise your weapons, Sunwood.
I am the bulwark against darkness.
Break their legs.
This attack's not great into things that give +2 attack.
Know your path, for the mountain changes.
What if we boom ship here, and then that lets us whale for 3 next turn, which is nice? Are any Plaza decks running single? Sometimes, but not always.
Follow the path.
Hubble, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Alright, well. It went okay. Hopefully, Dreadway here is going to let us dominate the late game, but there's a chance that that's not the case with all of their invokes here. Hey, KT. GG to Georgia, and thanks for the chilled streams. Thanks for the 2 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back.
Bones are splintered.
Huh? Do I let them... God bless Mr. Breadcrumb. Do I let them develop before I attack? I think the answer is no. If they play Leona, I just get hosed.
Protector, shield me.
ABC best deck. Good afternoon and welcome.
History is in each stone and star.
So I think we parlay here into Deckhand into Doombees. We're still 2 turns off of playing Dreadway, unfortunately.
The mountain knows me. I
Didn't know the box is sent for ye.
don't know much, do ya?
Don't know much, do ya? Let's wait and see what challengers they play out here.
Discipline.
Alright, well, step 1 didn't get Golden Sistered, so that sounds nice.
The enemies of day will fall.
Follow the horizon.
He said that should be hooked like that, probably. Alright, Gangplank into Dreadway could do it here. Especially because the other Gangplank we're going to draw with this Dreadway is going to be a parlay that we can get to blasting with.
Work, you dogs!
Vasetto, good afternoon. This does 4 currently. Pretty close to lethal, chat. Pretty close to lethal. Try and kill their fearsome blocker here. Wow! Get wrecked. That was just rude, opponent. It was just rude.
Slaughter 'em all!
Slaughter 'em all!
The guilty will bend.
Open your eyes.
Shining gifts from the sky.
I would like to drain 8. No!
Radiant strikes.
My poor little Dreadway, chat. Hush, little Dreadway, don't say a word.
Her light will always rise.
Nice invoke card. This kinda sucks against Leona, but they didn't have Leona last turn. Well, shit. Maybe we're just supposed to open there to level Gangplank. Puts them to 2. And level Gangplank triggers can kill them.
I bear a message from. Oh, hey, what's that?
I must end this madness before I lose myself.
Your king has returned.
Hey, trying not to die here. These are more exclusive, cannot block them. And pretty good open attacks next turn. Hoping to fade things that can block this in Equinox. So they have a lot of decent hits here. Yeah, Twisted Diana is great. That continues to be one of my favorite decks in Runeterra. Alright, so we hook this. And then neither of these can block Ledros. Gangplank trigger. I says they're dead. Click OK. Dirt face! Thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Keeping me around.
I won't stop coming for those who wronged me.
The boss just approved working a little bit overtime today. So even with Quack's donation, we're going to do 4 Runeterra decks today and then still play some Witcher 3. Because I want to play some Witcher 3, chap. We're about to go find Ciri and then fight the Wild Hunt. That sounds exciting. It's been on hold for a little bit while we finish the Final Fantasy game. I'm ready to get back to Geralt. Alright, Parlay sounds lovely against Zoe. Mulligan the rest of these, looking for something to pair with the Croaker. Perfect! Just like we drew it up.
Reality is just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly!
How many hours am I into Witcher 3? About 30? 30-ish? I do open world games quicker than most because I don't get completely lost in side quests.
I'll have a breakthrough.
Got a surprise for him.
Back later.
The title said GP trash. Guess that's just happening. I think we're going Butcher into Croaker here.
Suppose I should leave you.
Draw a card.
For silver I got, for gold I listen.
For gold, I listen.
My faith protects me.
So, I think with Thresh in hand, I actually don't attack in offering trades this turn because I want to wait to start trading our boards off until I have Thresh in play to collect souls. So I think we do this and then just ship for 2.
We fight for those who cannot. Demacia!
Demacia!
Just run while you can.
Let's get
put Thresh last, so that way if other things die, he has a chance to level in combat.
Hold fast.
Hoping with these two, we can punch through any combat tricks they might have here. Do I let Garen level, or do I play this grasp and potentially poke the bear? I feel like I just let Thresh collect 5 souls here. I mean, there's a good chance I can't kill the Garen. I think I'm just supposed to say, okay, you get your Garen level, my Thresh gets almost leveled.
Hi there, a message from. Oh, hey, what's that?
Okay, so with this play, I can grasp this in an attempt to level Thresh, because if they blink and try and stop the Thresh level, I get to murder Zoe. Okay, sweet. I just want to So this gets to survive. That's a good one in a grindy matchup. This gets to survive, but I still have Zap as a blocker next turn now. It's possible they're like almost assuredly drawing Plaza there, so it's very possible I should just wait for them to play Plaza in that instance.
Lead our charge.
Demacia, now and forever.
Super Pepperoni, thanks for the follow. That's good. This is gonna make her fearsome, so she slips past this now.
We live here.
Alright, so we do this, and then I think we open attacks. Because they have a rally token too. Honestly, I'd probably rather hook this, right?
I'll make corpses of them all. Hold fast.
Sweet, and this hit here levels Gangplanks with each trade.
Your king has returned.
So not in a terrible spot here, all things considered, especially with the Eclipse and the Dreadway left over. Must have had something real life come up, right? Like, I think we were a little ahead there, maybe, but definitely not concede. Yeah, but sometimes real life takes priority over games. Hey, let's try and get one more. I was gonna make that the last one, but I would like to get a full game to play out before we move along to some Leona Scar grounds. That could be true. They might have, that could have been a shame concession, not realizing Garen was gonna die. There's a possibility that that was it as well. Israel Draven. This doesn't seem very good here. So these seem fine. Slow burn. Is that what people are calling this deck? It seems like a very silly name for what this deck is doing.
Be nothing left when I'm done.
It's just like a quintessential mid-range deck.
I whipped up something special.
Trumpers have started attacking police in DC. That can't be true. I'm told all the violence is perpetrated by the left in Antifa.
Got a surprise for him.
Time for a true display of skill.
So there's a good chance that this doesn't work against their deck, but I'm not throwing away my shot.
Charge! Watch and learn. Can't stop me.
If I kill you, I don't fortune, stupid. I don't change fate, but I can see it.
I can see it. So, Parlay doesn't kill a lot in their deck anyways. So I think I'm actually just pointing this at their dome here to get this Gangplank trigger. This is a great draw.
Firing!
Alright, so Thresh is about to get flocked. Actually, you know what? If Thresh is gonna get flocked anyways, do I just hook like this so they don't have good blocks on the rest of these? Nah, that's gotta be wrong. If they block one of these, this probably draws a deal one anyways to finish it. So I don't think this is gonna work, but I think I'm okay with the rest of this. Scorched Earth, sure. It's even less resource efficient. Seems fine for us. Static Shock is the card I would like to dodge here because that kills both of these, and it levels the Ezreal.
One shot, all skill.
I think I'm gonna take the hit here because we drew the Thresh. I think, again, the fact that I drew Thresh means I wanted him to be around to collect the souls. That could be wrong, too, because it could be right, like, if they have another, like, they have a lot of Scorched Earths and blocks and stuff, so, like, if they want to shoot this and then kill it, like, that could happen.
Charge!
Could go either way on that. And this levels Ezreal here, too. Wow, that's a good regeneration.
They don't know what they're up against.
Keep up, keep up.
No!
You're gonna murder my Zapier. When does each party select their respective leader? Usually whenever they want.
Firing! There's my second. You dog.
Probably dead at this point. Appropriate emote is appropriate. Then they get to pick where they tie break, Burning Piggy. So the vice president gets to cast the tie-breaking vote on every individual bill.
Ocean calls.
Is what it comes down to.
Nailed it.
Neither the flames nor the depths could claim me.
Oh, I don't know. That's a super edge case.
Bilgewater is mine and mine alone.
Charge!
Nothing but the stink of blood and sweat. Get to work.
That'll do big. So overall, this deck felt a little bit mediocre. I think my big takeaway, and this won't come as a surprise to anyone, I don't think, is that Boom Ship was really just kind of crappy. It's just not good enough. I think you could make this card cost 2 mana, and it's probably still not good enough. It's definitely not good enough at 3. Like, the fact that it's slow and it frequently only deals 1 damage is just really mediocre. The other thing about this deck is it felt kind of disjointed. The games that we won that felt good often involved having, like, aggressive starts with, like, Jagged Butcher into Deckhand into Doom Beast, but the games where we had things like Make It Rain and Grasp and Wail, we were frequently losing, and I think there's just too many decks in the format. Like, there's a lot of Demacia decks in the format right now, whether it's Scouts or Shen Fiora, that have a lot of really chunky units in them, and having just so much damage-based removal, trying to control the board with that feels really bad and not good enough. Our removal just quickly gets outclassed by, like, what our opponents can deploy to the board. So I think this one felt like a little bit of a miss. Felt like it was kind of pulling in two different directions, and the kind of go big controlling aspect just doesn't seem particularly reasonable. All right, let's go ahead and shift gears. Needs to be 2 and probably fast. Yeah, probably also fast to be playable. I agree.